Anytime you set a plan in motion, there are certain benchmarks that you look for to see if it's working. This certainly applies when it comes to your business. And there's no better duo to help you reach your goals and measure that success than Pete McDowell and Peg Burley with Take Action Business Coaching. Good to have you guys back.
Hi, Robin.
Here. All right, first of all, no one wants to kind of feel like they're spinning their wheels, right? We set these goals, we're trying to get there, but sometimes it can be hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So what do you guys do about that?
Well, one of the things that we see when we're starting to engage with teams, employees, owners, is that sometimes they do feel that overwhelm, or they feel that, what am I going to do next? And I always say, when I hear people say that, I say, you know what, probably you don't have a plan.
Yeah,
we need to get a plan, and then they can have hope, and they can organize their thoughts.
And be excited, I'd imagine. That's kind of the goal, right?
We hope that happens sometimes.
I hope that
sometimes
falls into
frightened a
place.
little, yeah. But growth comes from change, and your coach is there to help you to change things, to make them better.
We're going to talk then, about kind of these benchmarks that you guys have people sit at or look at. And do you see them, do you still see these moments of frustration as they are reaching to the next one, or does this help to eliminate that?
Well, we like to think that we're helping them to see things that they should see, and sometimes they don't want to see everything, right? But when they see a problem, we help them try to figure out, well, how do we look at this as an opportunity? Yes, it's a problem today, but if we fix this problem permanently, what would that mean to your team and your customers and to your revenue and your profit? So to help them look at things differently and not be afraid of looking at reality, what's really going on in their business.
So do you see them have humbling moments, we'll say, through the process?
Of course.
Yes, and this just happened to one of our clients who we were working with, and then they looked in the mirror and they go, this has happened because I've allowed it. This has happened because of me. And we have to walk that tightrope of taking ownership, saying, yes, that's correct, and we want to change it. And also, don't blame yourself anymore, but take action and move on.
Okay.
But it can be a humbling experience. And on the other side of that, though, it's inspiring and exciting.
Yeah, and sometimes, for example, when an employee does something not quite the way the owner wants it, we ask them, well, who hired this employee? Well, I did. Well, who trained them? Well, actually, I did. Who gives them feedback every day as they're doing their job? Well, I did, or I don't do it very often.
Right, I don't do it enough, obviously.
They start to realize, and you have to be somewhat gentle with it, but to help them realize that, okay, in order for them to change, those folks over there, I need to make a couple changes.
Okay, and are each of these, just thinking about it, like separate benchmarks to get them to the final goal, whether that be hire more employees or get to the, are you guys going through these steps with them? Is that the measure of success?
Well, what we call them breakthroughs is how many breakthroughs and how quickly you get them, it varies per person. And the speed in which that happens, it greatly varies. We have one client that we're working with where it's taken about 7 to 8 months for him to finally get what we're saying. You need to hire more people. You need to hire different people.
Okay.
And he finally realized the last time another issue came up, he lost more money because of something. And he's like, oh, I need another person. I'm like, yes. It took 7 months to get to that point, but it was a breakthrough.
That's a breakthrough.
That's a breakthrough.
Does that ever cause them to maybe, in that case, maybe gain it back, but lose their drive to lead if they don't see these breakthroughs happening? And then maybe when they do, hey, maybe I'm doing something right?
Part of our job as the coach is to help them to realize positive things that are happening in their business, even though they may not recognize them.
That's a good one.
A lot of hard-driving business owners like to get something done and move on to the next thing instantly, right?
Okay.
And not say, boy, this is a great job. We actually won this big deal, but I got to worry about this problem. So we'd like to remind people that it's good to celebrate their success when it happens, and to get in the habit of doing it and helping their team to do that too. When you do that as a habit, it's positive reinforcement for you all the time.
What about life outside the office or workplace?
So that is, in fact, it was funny, right before we were on today, I had a coaching session with somebody about that very thing, is making sure that we don't get so overwhelmed with the accomplishment of achieving our goal that we lose sight of the whole picture. And for those high achievers, and we tend to coach a lot of high achievers, high achieving companies, is sometimes we can get inundated in the minutia of it all that we forget our values. And so one of the things Pete and I just recently did with one client as we sat down, super high achiever, said, tell me your values and tell me and rank them.
Put them in order.
Put them in order. Put them in order. And then let's see where we are on achieving those values. Because we have to circle back of why we're here. It's so easy for us to get pulled away from things because of the urgency. and because of, hey, I need you, and that makes us feel good too when we're needed. We also have to do it purposefully and making sure that we're circling back to those values.
So if your children are important, well, what is it really that's important about that? Well, it's spending time with them.
How do we
right?
get to that?
Yeah.
How much time are you spending? So a good coach is going to ask questions. How much time have you been spending with them the last average of the last 4 months on a weekly basis? Well, about this much. Is that acceptable? Because they're going to be gone in a few years, right? Going off to college and all that.
right?
Right? And it happens like that.
Yeah.
And if it's not where you want it to be, what are we going to do to make it differently, right? And so the next time you're challenged with delegating something to someone, if you think of your kids when you're doing it, you can help to make that connection. And it drives them to get things done.
And you guys do that for so many people, obviously. And already high achieving companies become even higher achieving companies.
That's
so
it.
There are a lot of perks to calling Peg and Pete. All the info to contact them up on screen. Thank you guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Robin.